Hi guys, I'm so sorry about what happened in the last video. I didn't check the time. Now I had to quickly switch it off so that I could save the video. Otherwise it was gonna get deleted. Then I have to start again. Anyway, so yeah, we have this problem over here. The first thing when you have an equation that has fractions is to write down your restrictions, right? Why do you write down your restrictions? You have b plus 2 in the denominator. If b happens to be negative 2, you can't solve that equation because you're basically taking something that's undefined, you're adding 1 and you're saying it's equal to that, which is not true. You can't have that when you have undefined stuff. So you must write the restriction. That's basically saying, I'm assuming that b is not equal to negative 2. I'm also assuming that b is equal, it's not negative 1. So you're just assuming that that business 3b over b plus 2 is not undefined. So that's really an important part, right? After that, you can establish your lowest common denominator. So it's basically a product of all your denominators. So that's b plus 1 times b plus 1. I mean, that's b plus 2 times b plus 1. So that's that business. That would be your lowest common denominator. Had you had something 1 over, let's say 2, you're going to have 2 times b plus 2 times b plus 1. So that's really how your lowest common denominator, that's how you get your lowest common denominator. Had you had something that is 1 over b plus 1, meaning that you have 2b plus 1 in the denominator, it's the lowest common denominator. So you must only, if you're fana, you can skip it, you must only take it once. So you would still have b plus 2 times b plus 1, right? And then you're going to take each term, that term, and you're going to be multiplying by that. So you take the first term and you multiply it by that, that's what you get. You take the second term, you multiply it by that, that's what you get. And you take the third term and you multiply it by that. That and that is going to cancel. That is going to stay like that. You can see there. And that plus, and that is going to cancel. So really, if you simplify, you're going to get to this step. Now, this is in a quadratic form. You can factorize, you find your factors, you set that equal to 0 there, you set that equal to 0 there, you find your values. You then have to check your values, right? And you find that b is equal to that. You know, it works for both of them in this case. I didn't check it for you. Neither the book also didn't check it for you. Yes, then that's what we have. Now let's look at example 5. Now example 5 is gonna sort of like show you why it's important to check your solutions. Example 5, you have m plus 2 is equal to that business, right? Now you have to take this and put it in a standard form of a quadratic standard form. So the first thing that you would like to do is to square both sides to get rid of that square root. A square root it's like it's to the power of a half. So when you square, when you square, you're really getting rid of that half. If you're struggling with thinking about that, you can SMS me. I'll definitely send a little workout of why that happens. If you square root that, you get rid of that square root, you just have x plus 2m. If you square that business, that's what you get. You can rearrange that to get it in a quadratic form. You can find factors and you can solve, right? Now let's check this one. Now when you check m is equal to 1, you take the right hand side. Do you see it, guys? When you check, you take the right hand side, you substitute, you find the value. You take the left hand side, you substitute. If you look at the left hand side, it's that. No, this is the left hand side. So our m is 1. So we say m plus 2 is equal to 3. the right hand side happens to be equal to the left hand side. So that m that you found there where m was equal to 1, it was a valid solution. You check for the other one. If m is equal to negative 3, take the right hand side, substitute, and see what value you get. The left hand side, you take that value over here, you substitute negative 3 and you plus 2, and when you do that, that's what you get. You got 1 on the right hand side, you're getting that on the left hand side, and that m is not valid. That's why it's always important to check. So the only m that's valid, it's m is equal to 1. Right? Now guys, think about what is happening here. Right? Think about really what is happening here. I'm not gonna say that on this video. I'll make a separate video on what is happening over here, right? Why you have to dismiss the other value and you have to accept the other value, and it has to do with introducing a root when you're squaring. So okay, sure, this video ends here. I'll make another video on the following video would be solving for x using, let me quickly check, using completing a square, right? Thank you guys.